guys, you are once again welcome to the Ryde channel. You know, the Ryde channel is all about cars and motorcycles. Yes, I'm back and I have something really special. What do I have for you? What I have is by way of motorcycles. Now, you know, a lot of times when people want to get into riding, the first thing they think about is what bike will be appropriate for me as a beginner. Okay, now a lot of times the bikes that are recommended for people who want to start riding are not that so desirable bikes. Okay, because when people think about riding, they're looking at the flashy sports bikes, powerful bikes, noisy bikes. Okay, yes, so they get to start on very small, mediocre bikes, and after a few months of riding, they want to get rid of that one and hop onto something big. But do you always have to make that sacrifice? You can eat your cake and have it by kind courtesy of the Blue Crew, that is Yamaha. Yamaha has introduced the Yamaha R7. The Yamaha R7. Now, if you are familiar with Yamaha and motorcycles for a while, you will know that the Yamaha R7 is a legend in itself. Okay, so for some of us, it was almost sacrilegious when we heard that Yamaha is coming out with an R7, which is not going to be a thoroughbred race bike for that matter. But what I've been experiencing today makes up for it. Now, there's a bike that if you're a beginner, it is not intimidating, and at the same time, if you are somebody who has been riding for a long time, I might say a veteran, you'll be happy because it has all the bases covered and it is a wonderful experience. I mean, if you are on the market for a bike and you want to tick all these boxes that I've outlined, this is the bike to look at, the Yamaha R7. Say the new Yamaha R7. Now, Yamaha, like I intimated in my MT-09 or the Tracer GT video, I said Yamaha has created a slew of very powerful, very tractable, and very solid engines, the CP range of engines. And it starts with the CP2, then we have the CP3, then we have the venerable CP10, which is in the MT-010, also found in the Yamaha R1. Now, this is the baby brother of the CP series, the CP2, which is a Pyro twin engine. Now, this bike, this engine has been working wonders, and it has got all the sales charts beaten because it is sitting on top, because people just can't get enough of bikes that carry this engine. So Yamaha, after doing the MT-07, after doing the XSR 700, they thought it wise that the Yamaha R6 is getting a bit long in the tooth. We need something that is going to bring a lot of heat into the market. So they brought this, the Yamaha R7. for today, and I must say I'm really impressed. If you are a beginner, what you are looking at is a bike that is slim, light, okay, and the suspension, the brakes are solid. You have the electronics pack to go, and I think this bike has covered it all. So right at the bottom you have the CP2 engine that I have so highly spoken of. I mean, it is a very potent engine. I've been enjoying. I've been riding over 24 years, and I must say that getting on this bike, I mean, I've done everything from the Panigale V4s and the Super Leggers. I've done the Diablos, I've done the VMAX, I've done almost every bike, scooters alike, and I must say that this bike is a really special bike. And if you are getting on the scene, or you're already on the scene and you don't want to spend big money on big bikes, this one will give you the chills. Okay, and another thing about sports bikes, the reason why these days you don't see me on a lot of sports bikes is that they're a bit tiring when you have to ride them around in town. Now this bike is very comfortable, okay, although you do a bit of a sports bike lean, it is not extreme to get you tired. Okay, the bike is very slim and very light, and the suspension is so sure-footed. It's so easy to weave through traffic, and I must say that I won't blink an eye if I have to do this bike as a commuter bike, a daily, riding it to and from work every day. I mean, I really love it, and it has bags and bags of attitude, it has bags and bags of torque and horsepower to keep you grinning and smiling all throughout the day. Wonderful. So we have very minimal electronics here. All we have is ABS, but the ABS is very I mean, for the horsepower this bike is making, it's barely scratching 70 horsepower. I mean, for the size of the bike and 70 horsepower, which comes on really low, I mean, this is more than enough, and the ABS is very competent. A lot of people complain about some of the components Yamaha uses on their motorcycles. I mean, for the price, the price, you can't be asking for very fancy, you know, components. But I mean, for my weight, I find this suspension more than adequate, and the brakes more. In fact, I'll say the brakes are impressive, because today I've been riding it and I really tested the bike. The ABS just kicked in at the right time, especially the rear wheel, and the bike stopped in the distance that I was comfortable with, and I was just throwing this bike up and about in the corners, and I must say I really enjoyed. I've enjoyed my experience with this bike. Now look at the design. Very fashionable design. It picks all the styling cues from the Yamaha R1, okay, and some of the bits also from the R6, and it embodies them in this design. Just look at it. Very nice bike. There are two colors available. You have this blue and you have a black. Very simple, blue and black. Okay, all right. Then you have an LCD screen up here, monochrome LCD, but it has all the information that you need. Okay, let me just open the ignition so that you can get to see it. Yeah, okay, that is it. Okay, so you have a gear shift indicator, you have a rev counter, then you have your speedometer and fuel gauge. Okay, and that is all that you need to go around your daily business. Okay, the front forks are adjustable. The front forks are adjustable for compression and damping. Okay, then you have also an adjustable rear shock. All right, no fancy names here, but I must say they are competent, they are effective, and they work really well. Like I mentioned, this bike is equipped with ABS that works pretty well, and I'm really impressed with this bike. Just take it in. All the styling cues from the Yamaha R1. Up front here, you have a single projector style LED headlights. Okay, then you have some accents, LED light accents here. Let me just open it. You get to see it. Yeah, that is it. Very nice bike. 17-inch front wheel, Yamaha rims, Yamaha brakes. Everything here is Yamaha. Very impressive. On this particular model, it has been spec'd with a Yoshimura exhaust, and it sounds really nice. You have the option of optioning this bike with a quick shifter, but I must say the clutch is really light, and I'm not missing a quick shifter on this bike. Let me start it so that you get to hear the sound on this bike. Yeah. My cameraman nearly ran away. Yeah, go pick up. My cameraman nearly ran away. Yeah, that is it. Doesn't it sound sweet? Yeah, that is the Yamaha R7. Very impressive bike. If you're on the market and you are looking for an inexpensive bike that you're going to start riding on, okay, without having to break the bank, at the same time you'll be comfortable with keeping it for a while, even as your skills progress, and you are still going to have loads and loads of fun, this is a bike. Don't look any further. Don't look for any other bike, as a matter of fact. Okay, look at the Yamaha R7. I'm really happy. I wish they could just give me this bike. I could take it home and live the rest of my life with this bike. Thank you so much for joining me on the my review of the Yamaha R7. I'm sure you watch a lot of reviews. If you are looking into this bike, you've already watched a lot of reviews, but I must tell you that this is my review. For my weight, for my height, this is the perfect bike, and I've been riding for a long time. I still enjoy this bike greatly, and I'm sure you will also really enjoy this bike. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the Ryde channel. When you subscribe and you share, it allows us to get to more people with our content, and it motivates us to keep doing these things all for you. I'm really excited to have ridden this bike and to have you also coming on board with me, and I'm grateful. I don't take this lightly. Thank you, and bye for now.